Alrighty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be around the world. Happy Saturday, RGL. This is Supersonic, and we're bringing you Animaniacs on the Sega Genesis. Not to be confused with the Super Nintendo version, which is like completely different. But anyways, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get the settings set here. Gonna be doing the easy percent of the game. Okay, there we go. We have it set. We gotta make sure for leaderboard purposes in case I PB, which won't happen. Anyways, let's go in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Alright, so first things first, we're getting out of the Warner Tower and we're already met with Yakko, Wakko, and Dot, our trio of characters here. This is like pre-Sonic Heroes style platformer. So we got Yakko, who's like the power character, Wakko, who's like the, I don't know, Wakko just pretty much destroys everything, and then Dot just seduces male characters. And just like that, we're just already done with the intro stage. It's pretty much showing off like all the characters' abilities and such. So Yakko has the ability to push and pull blocks. He also has a paddle ball in which can stun enemies, mostly Ralph, which we will see like a bunch of times. And the switching of the characters is pretty much at set, so it'll always be at Yakko, Wakko, and Dot in that order, and then goes back to Yakko when you switch from Dot. But this is kind of like our Indiana Jones style stage here. Pretty much see that we're in a studio, so like, you know, every stage is in a studio. And this stage is pretty much our first auto-scrolling section. So we got that alligator right there. We want to make sure that we're not standing on anything, otherwise it'll activate, and it creates a lot of lag when you have all these sprites on board. So normally what you want to do, like in PB attempts and such, is take intentional deaths in this stage until your life count hits 0. Because what happens is, like, after each score countdown, it counts how many lives you have and it'll give you points for it. And it'll actually make the score countdown a lot faster when you lose, like, you know, in this case, like 4 lives. But in this case, we're not going to be doing that because, you know, marathons. And, you know, we want to finish the game and not like game over and whatnot. So in this section, the switch is placed all the way on the bottom here. So we got to wait for these platforms to come down. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take an intentional damage. Ah, whoops. I think we're going to miss the getting in the door here, so we're gonna have to take extra platforms here, which isn't too much of a worry, you know, just extra platform climbing, no big deal. And now we got this train section. As you can see on the top left, the way how Wakko looks right now, that's our health. So depending on how their expression looks, that's how much health we have. So that's kind of, you know, kind of leading to death right now, but the other state was like complete death. Then they're like really happy and then somewhat happy. So, you know, it goes from happy to sad, just to keep things in cheerful terms in a sense, not like too morbid. So yeah, there's really not much to this stage really. Like once we get to the next screen, that's when other stuff will be happening. And you can see from their idle screen, like Wakko just bounces his head up and down. Like, Dot is like, you know, just kind of standing there. Yakko's just twirling around. All right, now we got these seesaws here. Gonna stand on this rotating rock, and yet we're still standing on it and not rotating along with it because, you know, video game logic, right? Now we got these Yoku blocks, you know, shout outs to Mega Man. But not gonna be using them. We will be using them in the future stage. Then we got these invisible blocks here that, you know, you just have to kind of wait to see it lit up a little bit in order to move. But, you know, I played this game long enough, so I know where they are. So now we're going to stay as Wakko here, especially for the boss fight. And we're going to get this little bit of a turnaround to open the door. And now we're going to meet up with Ralph, the security guard. We're gonna get him in the stun lock here. Hopefully we get some good RNG on the debris that's falling from the ceiling. Oh, whoops, I accidentally let go of the stun lock. Should be fine to get one more hit. Oh no, he went away. That's fine, we can just switch over to Yakko and just hit him with the paddle ball. And he just shoots up into the air like a million miles away. So. And we get our first movie prop, which is the hat. And here we are into the first stage clear screen. As you can see, it's counting down my lives. The score countdowns do take a bit when you have a lot of lives in your disposal. And we got like the Mega Man style pick a stage, any stage sort of thing, but we're gonna take all the stages in order. Now we are in our space stage, which is like our Star Wars / Star Trek sort of stage. Now we're gonna use Wacko to pretty much destroy that broken camera. And then we're gonna switch over to Dot here to blow a kiss to Solly the God Pigeon. And we have this this platform here that moves really slow, and yet the lasers are practically RNG. Usually you don't want to get hit by those lasers because sometimes the knockback is pretty terrible and they can send you straight to the pit, which we don't want happening, and thankfully we did not have that happen. Alright, so now we're gonna stay as Yakko for a little bit here. Gonna take a bit of a cut there. Finish off this screen. Alright, gonna stand on this third block, and then we're gonna keep moving forward. Alright, and we're gonna switch over to Wacko, and then back to Yakko for this little automated segment here. And we're just gonna keep, you know, Ralph stun locked. So there are those treasure chests that are floating around. They contain either stars or health recovery items. So this is pretty much like a good spot to get them. Other than that, there's really not much to do in this screen until, you know, this screen fades to blue. And then Ralph gets sent into the abyss somewhere. Alright, now we're going to hear the Undertaker's gong. I'm gonna take this top route here. You know, I'm not gonna go for the life skip. We're just gonna grab that life. Normally what you want to do there is you want to jump at the last pixel, and it is possible to skip the extra life and keep it going. Shout out to Zero Counts, by the way, who is the current world record holder for this game in all three categories, easy, normal, and hard. Found a lot of neat strats in this game that weren't known originally. Ooh, almost got crushed there. It just barely had it by the skin of its teeth. Alright, also what I'm doing there is you kind of notice that I bring out the paddle ball with the Yakko. I'm actually doing a button buffer. So after like Yakko's paddle ball animation goes away, I can pretty much grab onto blocks like right away without having to just standing up against it. And also, hello, nurse. That's the only time we see her. Also, shout out to Chemical Plant here with these platforms. Also, kind of neat thing, like in the background, there's actually an alien back there. It's kind of hard to see because of the silhouette. But in the shadows, there's an alien hiding. It's just standing there, you know, kind of looking cool. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and send us over to this area. And a lot of lag is created because of the, I guess the, what do you call, what are those candies called? Those hot tamales or whatever? They're just kind of exploding a little bit and creating a fire in the background. Also, there are a couple ice creams here just in case you need to recover your health, but we're already in full health right now, so no need to worry about that. And now heading into the Donkey Kong Jr. Stage 3 level. Kind of climb up here. We'll just stun Ralph whenever pretty much close by with Yakko. We're just kind of climbing up here, avoiding the sparks. Alright, we see Ralph coming up again. We're just gonna use our paddle ball once more. Oh, whoops, it's the platform. Alright, and then just gonna use the paddle ball to not get hit by the lights, but also do that, I guess. It worked out in the long run. We still got our movie prop. And that is stage 2. So stage 3 is probably my least favorite stage of the run. It's the western stage for a couple reasons. And we will see that as we kind of mosey on over here. All right, first things first. We're just gonna let Ralph throw his bombs. And then we're gonna see these wild horses just running by. We want to make sure we keep our health. We don't want to take any damage because we will be going for a damage boost later in the stage, and it takes about 2 damage. Also, there's Mindy and Buttons. Normally you want to bring them together, but you know, it's a speed run. We got to go fast, right? Even though we're kind of moving slow. All right, just switched over to Wacko. As long as the portrait is flickering like that before the end of the screen, that's when you know that you got the character shift. Otherwise, like if you try to do a change right before that and the portrait doesn't flicker, it's gonna keep you on the current character that you had. Also, we got Flavio and Marita, the dancing hippos. And we got these rolling barrels here. They roll at a group of 4. Oh, I accidentally took a hit there. You know what? We're gonna play this a little safe. There we go. We need the remaining health that we have to do that damage boost. Also, no animal or child is harmed in the making of this video game, so don't worry. They're rolling away just fine. Okay, we're gonna switch back to Yakko here. Normally you want to do a block puzzle here, but we're just gonna take a damage boost on these flames. Just to keep it moving. We'll just push this block though. If we try to land on the fire again, we'll die. And we don't want that to happen. And now, I just missed the Yoku block cycle, that's okay. I shot a little bit early there, no big deal. Gotta wait for it anyway. Sometimes it is possible to have like a really good Yoku block section, but so it's kind of convenient how they put an extra life right by the flames because they want you to jump in the fire. It's pretty morbid. All right, we're gonna go ahead and wake up Mindy, and then we're gonna use Dot to kiss Sully the God Pigeon. And I just jumped a little early, so we gotta go a little bit around here. Or just die. Went a little too early there. That's okay. That's how a death looks like, by the way. And whenever you die, it'll send you back to the screen that you currently are on. So there aren't any really checkpoints in this game. It's pretty much based on screens. So. That's what we wanted. The second time's a charm, right? So that's what should have happened last time, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Now the part that I'm really dreading. Now we got the fight against Ralph again. And this time we're gonna be launching pies. But this pie launcher is not reliable whatsoever. No matter how you hit it, it's always gonna be flailing around in different directions. But there is sometimes a way you can actually get them into a stun lock, which I hope I got here. I don't know that. I had 3 hits, luckily. That's pretty good. Thankfully, we need like 1 more hit after this. Yeah, this fight is really annoying, and it could get out of hand really quickly. That pie should have hit him. I call shenanigans. I call shenanigans on that one too. You know you want some pie. Here, I'm trying to give it to you, buddy. Are you kidding me? Come on, dude. There we go. That's it. All right, now we're gonna switch over to Yakko because we gotta push a block coming up here. And we still have full health. And now we got this section of the boss fight. Ralph is gonna try to go after us here. But we need to keep this train all the way to the right side. And this is an automated segment. And that lid on the top is completely random. It'll open and close whenever it wants to. Pretty much what we want to see here is we want to see Ralph attempt to jump at us, but we want to keep this train to the right side. He did jump there, but that's okay. Something like that, but we don't want him to land on the train. But there will be an instance where once the automated timer goes out, he'll start to try to jump at us again. Oh, what you did there. No problem. We're fine. The lid is not letting us, you know, fill up the chute with coal. Okay, now the train is stuck. And as Ralph is trying to run towards us, he trips and falls and gives us the next stage prop. Yeah, that pylon tree is pretty evil, I'd say. Alright, now we're heading into stage 4, which is the horror stage. But first things first, we see the Grim Reaper. Normally you want to be Dot to blow a kiss to him, but we're just gonna damage boost right through him because it takes 1 damage. Also, the trees in the background, they're kind of giving us the bird. Don't mind that. Let me see if I can go for this hay bale skip here. We got the hay bale skip. Got us to 0 counts for that strat. So we just pretty much skip a puzzle section there. Alright, we're gonna switch over to Wacko for the next screen. Also, we say goodbye to the tree that's flipping us off. See, good book RNG. These floating books can sometimes be in the way. Alright, we're gonna hit this one. There we go. Alright, we're gonna switch over to Dot here. And we see Dracula, but we're just gonna blow him a kiss for the time being and say goodbye for now. But we're gonna see him again. That's not the last of him. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and break that down. This is kind of like our puzzle style stage. Gotta move things around, place things in their proper spots and such. And we see Pinky and the Brain with their French horn contraption. So they're gonna try to suck us in to that horn, but we're just gonna be avoiding that and let them catch the plates and the vases, vases, you know, whatever the plural is. And then eventually it'll blow up. So I'm gonna be Wacko for this segment here. And kaplooey, there they go. Alright, so normally you want to put these blocks in order, but we're just gonna put them out of order for the time being to open up this door on the left here. We're pretty much forced to grab this timer, which is okay. It's just gonna give us 100 extra seconds. I'm gonna bring that block close, and now we're gonna put the blocks in their correct spots. Start with the triangle first, then we're gonna go with the circle. And then the square to complete the proper puzzle. Alright, so now we're gonna bring this block here to push this one just by 1 step, and then we're just gonna go down here. Now there is a strat in which you don't need this block here, but we're gonna take this for safety. And we'll take a hit for nothing. We're gonna place it right on top of this pipe, because when you step on that button, it'll let the water shoot out. Oh dear. But if you somehow manage to jump off on the frame that you land on that switch, you can actually make it up on that top platform. Alrighty, so now we're heading close to the boss fight. Go ahead and push this block here. Just gotta make sure that we don't get hit by the draining water from above. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna switch over to Wacko because we're gonna go for a stun lock here. So we met with Dracula yet again, and as you can see in the background, there are arrows pointing diagonally in each direction. That's pretty much signifying which platform is gonna drop, and Dracula is pretty much locked onto our location. We're pretty much going to be standing on the top left to get him to go to the top right, and we're just going to drop him on his butt 7 times. And that's how pathetic this boss fight is. There we go, and we get the Jason mask. Alrighty, so we got 4 stages down, and now we got the quote-unquote Wiley stage coming up, which is called the Edgars, which is the equivalent of the Oscars. Yeah, this is considered a wily stage. It is a very tough stage in general. Whoops, missed a step there, no big deal. We're going to be wacko for a lot of this section here. Okay, so for this section right here, right as I jump, I'm going to be holding the jump button so I can get more jump height from that. And then in this elevator section, we're going to take damage twice. This is totally fine. It's just to, you know, keep the elevator moving upward. You could, technically hit the button again to make it go down and avoid the flames, but that would take too much time. And we're just gonna go ahead and shoot up Pinky in the Brain up to that contraption up there, and I'm gonna listen for an audio cue. That might be early. No, we're good. Okay. So there was a certain note in the music that I listened for when I hit the elevator, and it may look like that the electric thingy is gonna hit me, but it barely misses me. So, alright, so now we gotta kind of put these blocks here. All right, now we're coming up to the scary section. We got this area here. This area is pretty scary because of the platforms. And Flavio and Marita are dancing on top of the apartment, which I have no idea how it's even possible for them to be up there because they're both pretty heavy. I got some pretty decent RNG on the debris above too, so that's actually pretty good that we got there fairly quickly. Well, shout outs to Sonic 1 here. With the first boss fight on that ball and chain, even though the ball kind of explodes, but that's okay. All right, now into this section, we're gonna go ahead and blow up this bomb to send it upward to bring down the staircase. Now we have this quote-unquote auto-scroller section. The background's blowing up to the left, and if we end up getting caught in that, that's an instant death, no matter how much health we have. Now we're gonna go ahead and maneuver here. Kind of nifty how there's an extra life down there. You know, they think that we're gonna be pretty much consumed of wanting to grab it, but they don't know those. They don't know us very well, do they? I think so. All right, now this section here, we got the helicopter in the background. When it shoots at the glass, those glass shards deal 2 damage. They hurt. I want to make sure we don't get hit by any of that. Gonna bring this here and kind of bait him over. There we go. All right, now we got the second to last screen. Those fireballs are RNG. We try to avoid them as best as we can. There's only one instance where we do open up the fire hydrant right here, and it does create a lot of lag, unfortunately. And that's the only time we do that. And in this case, since I'm not feeling too hot with my health, we're gonna go ahead and grab this chicken leg to give us a little more safety. So we can get through this section here, and hopefully the fireballs will not hit us. Right as I say that, I get hit by the fireball, but that's okay because we're already out of there. And now the final section, that might be Steven Spielberg right there in the director's chair. And we're gonna go ahead and grab the Edgar and complete the stage. So by doing all of that, we are now granted a roughly 2-minute cutscene that we cannot skip. And this is pretty much the lore of the story here. We're met up with Pinky in the Brain, plotting to take over the world as always. Are you pondering what I'm pondering, Pinky? So yeah, we just gotta sit through this. Although, one interesting thing that I did find out, if you manage to beat the game the first time through and you play it the second time, you can actually skip this cutscene. But there isn't a New Game Plus category, at least not to my knowledge. We just pretty much have the difficulty categories. But yeah, if we were to play this the second time around, like, this cutscene can be skipped, so that'll save it roughly 2 minutes or so. But yeah, so we're gonna be approaching the final boss of this game, and it can be quite the doozy. Yeah, hope everybody's having a good day so far. I hope everybody's enjoying Retrothon, a week long of glorious retro games. And this is my 4th game out of 6. I got 2 more games later. They're coming up tomorrow, actually. I'll be running Sonic 1 All Emeralds Glitchless and Sonic 3 and Knuckles Glitched. So those are my main speed games. Like, I'm more of a Sonic speedrunner, but I do have some other kind of speed runs in my pocket, kind of like this one right here. And as you may have seen on Wednesday, I did run Captain Skyhawk and both Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels for the event as well. So I'm pretty much like the jack of all trades kind of speedrunner in a sense, but I'm primarily known for Sonic speedrunning. Yeah, hope you'll join us for that tomorrow. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and take care of this boss, and we still got plenty of awesome runs coming up. Pinky, I shall have to hurt you soon. All right, here we go. Incoming the boss fight. Got this giant contraption here, kind of like Frankenstein in a way, but we're gonna kick it off with Dot first. So for this fight, we want to start off as Dot, switch to Yakko, and then over to Wacko in that exact order, because Pinky will be throwing these bombs, and whenever he's immobilized by love, he's not gonna light them up. So that's our chance to pretty much push it over with Yakko and then blow it up with the Wacko. Oh, I thought I was gonna... Okay, careful. I have to check and see what cycle I was on for that. Okay, there should be one more hit and it'll take us to the second phase. Bomb, please. Okay, heading over to the second phase, and the body's gonna fly off to the right side. And the top half, all they're gonna do is just kind of sit there while the legs are moving on its own. And the legs can also damage the top half as well with the kick, as you can see here. And got a couple more hits to go, and we should be in the clear to finish. Take some intentional damage. There we go. Are they gonna blow up? I'm just gonna wait on this left side here. And we're gonna grab all the artifacts and time. 27-17 with a death in stage 3. Not too shabby. I'll gladly take that in a marathon setting. But there we go. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, that is Animaniacs in a nutshell on the Sega Genesis. I hope you all enjoyed the run. Stay tuned for the man, the myth, the legend, Mad Mega X coming right up. And also, we got a really killer 4-way race for Shinobi 3 a little bit after this, like the next couple runs. So stay tuned for that as well. Got a lot of amazing runners for that one. And stay tuned for everything else, because it's Retrothon. A lot of cool video games, a lot of cool speedrunners. You know, always a pleasure being here. I'm always honored to be a part of Retrothon, but I'll give my ending spiel when I finish the Sonic 3 and Knuckles run. But in the meantime, I bid you all adieu. Let's send it on over to RGL for the next game. Thanks for watching, folks. Good night, everybody.